at the moment, what we have seen is that there was a solo of Flóra, which was a silent solo, or like no music, let's say. And then, just for the record, there is a new application possibility for the young artists, which is called National Cultural Fund's Zoltán Imre, I don't know, ideiglenes temporary college, yeah, not college, but some department. And they support the young generation with new works or residencies, or not so young but still not established artists, and people can apply for this possibility. And Flóra won the second chance because she already had a new piece this spring, and she got the chance again to work on something new, and you got back to not so new material. How come?
How come? Well, it's a short, like 12-minute solo from 2017, so not so long, but not so fresh either. But somehow during this last rehearsal period for this last piece, I had this feeling from the back of my mind that something with that solo wants to come up again. So, well, after the premiere of the last piece, I watched this solo again, and then somehow I decided to put a new level, that the thing that is that interests me, the theme and the research material, can be combined. Can be combined with this last solo, and then. Well, I was also curious how this whole thing could grow. So that's also the reason why I thought to go deeper with this research and make a more or less 40-minute work to the end of this rehearsal period, or till the premiere. And then, of course, I wanted live music, like like almost always in my life, which is not so long yet. But and then through the L1 association, we found each other, and then right away we started to work on this. To first to use just, or a little bit more, but almost just the solo that I had, and then add the music, or like, yeah, and a little bit more, but it's more or less the solo with some music, and then we'll go on.
Adam, how did you find your role in this for now, because you will continue to work, so it's hopefully a longer journey together, but how did you react on Flóra's work, what already existed?
Well, it was quite challenging, because if there's a solo without music, then there's the question, because probably it was intended to be without music, and the question is, does it need music? And this was, I think, because of this I was quite anxious in the beginning, and but in the end, as you saw it, we filled it up quite a bit. I still have a lot of questions about it, but yeah, this is so it was quite challenging, mostly because of this form, and also because of the material. So yeah.
And I remember that a week ago I was visiting your rehearsal or so,
Yeah.
something like this on the days. In these days it's not so easy for me to remember which day exactly. But as I mentioned already in the other room, as we finished the discussion with Saskia, you were asked me to be a mentor. I didn't mention there that I was super happy about this, because officially I was not mentor of Flóra's previous work, but I had the chance to have a look even twice, and I felt each time that it's done. I mean, whatever they will do, it's great. And just do it. And I was also very, very touched by the fact that how you somehow involve the people around you, and I appreciated it so much. And because of this, I was super excited when you called me. And then, of course, when I visited the first rehearsal, I immediately asked if you have any focus point I should watch. What do you need from me? What kind of eyes? And she was telling me that I should just collect images which I liked, or maybe didn't work so much, or about the balances. And I told this because now I would like to ask you, what do you remember the most? Or what was maybe that part where you lost your attention? And I ask this especially because whatever you will say, for sure it determines how you react on it, and this can be really helpful for continuing something which is just growing. Anybody? Yes.
Thank you for the performance. I have a question about the text. How is it important for you to audience to understand it? Because I'm also thinking about it as a creator of a dance piece. If it's not in the language that everybody, there is no language that everybody can understand, but there is a possibility that if it's in English, that more people will understand nowadays. I think maybe it's a question. So how important for you is it? Because I got to the point when there was a text, I was like, what is it? Mm-hmm. And then of course I was just after just listening to the sounds of a Hungarian language, and I liked it. But then I was coming back, like, what is it? What will change for me if I understand it?
Well, somehow or maybe this question came up a week ago, if I should translate it fast to English, but then somehow decided not to. But probably for the premiere, but if it's in yeah, it can be English. Now I would say I would like the people to understand. So now, it was like, how many people does not understand Hungarian? Yeah, it could have translated then. Then for this audience, it was not a good choice.
What was the text?
What was the text?
Maybe the last one, if you want to share.
Well, I can. The last one is like the theme that I'm researching more, or want to add more to this solo, is a little bit. It's difficult in English, but I will just say it somehow. So it's the transgenerational heritage, let's say, the stories that we got from our grandparents, from parents, and then how they perceive the world. Like, just I will give you one example, and then you will find 100 in your own family. Like. If your father always say, like, through your whole childhood, that don't talk to strangers because they will hurt you, they will fool you. Don't start with new friends. Just use your friend. Then probably you will somehow change, or you will be not so much open to new people. Now I really, simplify these things, but all these things that we listen, and they're coming from past generations, somehow we transfer these messages or these experiences, good or bad, And then, well, I'm researching these stories in my family. So this is like one of them I can share with you. It's my great-grandmother's and my grandmother's talk, let's say. That when my grandmother had her first child, my uncle, and then she went back to work when he was like 3 months old. Then the great-grandmother took care of my uncle in the daytime. And then this is how my grandmother, she still lives, and she said that her mother, every day she went home or went to pick up my uncle, then her mother said that just bring it, it was so long, you're always a little bit late, and I hate that he's here. So every day, it was somehow it was the atmosphere when he went home. So I'm collecting. This is not such a light story, but these stories that, and then I hear it again, like how my grandmother talks about my mother. So well, these stories how they pass to me and to my life. I also have a daughter who is 1 year old. So now this heritage is important to me. So it's an argument between them, or somehow that's how I imagine my past, the past argument. This is about that. The first one is just, I would say, a delightful meeting, or a little bit delightful with conflicts, but that's more about the present, let's say. That's not so an old story, yeah? Yeah, I think we hear it, but if we don't, maybe we hear each other. So, yeah.
Just because it's so nice. Two points of feedback. One, the first is that you have like a lot of elements that remind me of like, what in German we say, it's not puppet theater, but like object manipulation.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming from theater, I feel like you're building scenes with characters, and every scene for itself is like quite strong, or is like strong images, but I'm losing it in between, and I don't find the path. And I also wonder, what's your path through it? Whether you have a story or not, or if we can follow the story or not. It doesn't really matter so much in the end, I think, but if you have a path through it, if you have a story, then we will be able to follow more through the single. That's my perception. And the second thing that I wondered, also because you use like illusions also, right?
Illusion? Yeah.
So you pretend, like you create the illusion that this is your back is a face, and that your legs and your hands are speaking, and since there's this sort of abstraction in it, I wonder if the voice needs to come from you on stage, or if the voice can be his voice also, or can be recorded, or if it's just a it's just a thought. It's just a thought to play around, maybe. To play around with this idea, maybe how these images and the sound can connect. Because now I felt, I mean, also I didn't understand anything, but yeah. This is dead.
Yes, because they switched on the fan. It's either one or it's more fan. Now it's just switched. Just yes. Anybody else? Yes.
Hi, thank you for the performance. I'm just curious about the two scenes which were supported quite a lot by the lighting. So the first one and the back. So how this happened? Or do you want to continue more with lighting, or Just like, how did you find this, those two scenes?
You mean the lighting especially?
Yes, yes, yes. Because especially those two scenes, I found the lighting very important. So how it happened that the light, especially in those two scenes, is so strong, and if he wants to continue a little bit maybe more, working more with those lights, or sorry, I get it also. If he wants to, because I am in the feedback, so that's why I screwed myself 3 times. And so, if he wants to work more with the lighting in general in the performance in the premiere. Because, for example, if I go like this with you, it's like that the lighting maybe can also help to find the path, to go path, no?
Well, yeah. Yes, those 2 moments, or those 2 pictures or scenes, are more connected with the light, or they don't work without that specific light. The rest was a little bit simpler. That's true. Well, yeah, that's a good observation. That the light can also be. That's what you say, right? If I understand, the light can also give this transition.
It was just a coincidence that you found those 2 scenes, or just like who placed the lamp and said like that's the direction, and this should be for the front. So because it really helps to those scenes.
Well, it was first. The scene was first created, and then we put the light to that scene because we felt that works only with these specific lights, because that is visible. If I'm down on the floor, but there's nothing light around this height, then you don't see my face. Or then I wanted to focus on the face, and the rest is less important. But when I move through the space, then I just don't want to spot myself. Well, that also could happen.
So it was your decision, or did
Yes.
someone?
Yeah.
I just, because you met already Tomas, he's a lighting designer, last year at the conference.
Yes, all right. I don't quite see you, but
Yeah. So at the moment they created a single light situation. They were focusing more on the cooperation between the music and the dance. But it's good to know who will plan and what in the future and how to. Because can you specify a little bit more if something was bothering for you, or you as a genius lighting technician?
Thank you. No, it was just if I see the objects, your body, and suddenly there are 2 scenes which really are asking for the lights. The beginning, it's open inside. You really don't know. You have to look, and I think that's also the spirit of the piece. So it's somehow it's asking like to be maybe more visual. Let's call it like that, or to
like
really.
you mean all.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's about the angles. It's even if you play with this figure, it also can help more. Because if it's just a fabric, if you light it, for example, from the front, it's really flat. But if you use more angles, it can be more like having the volume. So suddenly it can be more body than just a piece of fabric. Which was, it was nice, but still you can support all those, all this material by the lighting.
Sure. No, I will call you. But just be here.
He's a busy man. Anybody else? Yes, Taneli?
Hello. And I would like to know if you speak about what is relationship with the musician and you on not in privately but in the performance, because you you put it on the stage, and there was the moment, I think so, where you was watching him also. So
You're pretty sure that this question will come, and you're looking for the answer before already, like the that we have to think about it. Now our relation, I would say, is very simple. We want to be partners in it, and also we had an image that it's like folklore stories in Hungarian, that there is always a storyteller, and then under it there is the music, like parallel the two things, and then it's a very special folklore. I don't know any other folklore stories, just Hungarian. But this one, somehow this feeling popped up that we both tell the story together from different angles. And we are partners in the storytelling, which is not necessarily like a linear story, but there is some kind of linear in my head, but of course you don't have to tell the same story or be able to tell it. But and then, well, we both do it. This is our relation, that we both tell the story. I don't know if the audience need any more specific answer to this, because then I have to answer we are still working on that. Or if you had any thought about it, that might help us also. Like, what did you think? What our relationship is on the stage?
Taneli, do you want to answer
Can
first?
also answer if you had a feeling about it.
I feel it's like I was just wondering if the musicians would be away or it would be on stage. So how we will see the performance then, and or if you keep the musician on stage, maybe you could work on it a little bit more. So we know that you have been thinking about, or there is more clear connection.
Yeah.
So it's not just the musician playing the music, but it's also supporting the story or the yes.
Just for me, it was not so anymore. For me, it was duet already. I saw their connection. You really reacted on the movement, and it was opposite also. When you had your strong parts, so you really reacted on the music. So for me, it's duet. And I see
Okay, then we
communication between you. So.
We will change it in the brochure.
I think there's definitely something, a value in sometimes seeing how something is produced and at the same time falling for it. Like you create an atmosphere or an image and I believe it, but at the same time I see how it's done. And for me there's a certain quality in this also, which is maybe a benefit of seeing how things are produced. So, yeah.
Anybody else? Do you have a question?
I don't know, now you said so many nice thoughts that I just lost what I wanted.
Lots, but I'm not sure.
You have questions for me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Then I would like to thank you first, and also thank you for your benefit, because it helps them to get more into it. And this is the end of today, and we have one last day, which I already told you in the other room. So please come and be with us for the 18th time at L1danceFest, and safe journey back home, sleep well, and meet tomorrow. Thank you.